everyone. Welcome to Chapter 6. We're going to go ahead and review some of the important concepts from Section 6.1, which deals with converting percents to decimals and decimals to percents. So we have done some conversions before, and I think some of this will come to you fairly quickly. When we talk about taking a percentage and changing it to a decimal, because if you remember, quite a few videos ago when we first started fractions, I said to you, fractions, decimals, and percents are all part of a number. They're a number less than 1. So we're going to go ahead, let's look at what we need to do. The first thing that we do is we go ahead and we remove the percentage sign. That's the first step. Then we're going to divide by 100. But what this basically means, if you remember when we were talking about multiplication and division of powers of 10, back when we were doing decimals, we had talked about moving the decimal point in different directions. We're doing the exact same thing here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So let's go ahead and do a couple of these practice problems. So our first step, we're going to go ahead, we remove the percentage sign, and then we go ahead and we are moving 2 places to the left, adding our decimal point. So we get 44 hundredths as our answer to this. We have 239%. Again, let's remove the decimal sign. Keep in mind you start at the number that is furthest to the right. We're going to move 2 places again. Our decimal point right here. Our answer is 2 and 39 hundredths. Here, if you remember, and it's in your textbook, you have to keep in mind that if you have a fractional percent, you need to change that into a decimal in order to be able to solve this. So I went with some pretty easy ones. We know that when we're looking at 1/4, that is actually 0.25 or 25 hundredths. So we would actually write this, we would remove our decimal point, change this 1/4 to our 25 hundredths. So actually we're going to add a decimal point here as part of our conversion. So we have not moved the decimal point 2 places yet. All we did was convert that 1/4 to 25 hundredths. Now, once we've done that, we go ahead and we move the decimal point our 2 places. So then our answer is actually 1,825 10,000ths. That's actually our answer. So that's how we do percent to decimal. Let's take a look at what we do when we have a decimal and we're changing a decimal or a whole number and we're changing it to a percent. If we were moving 2 decimal places to the left, what do you think we're going to do now? Probably right. We're going to move 2 decimal points. If we were moving to the left, we're going to move to the right now. So, and doing that is what we're multiplying by 100, but I kind of give you a little bit of a shortcut for doing that. So let's take a look at these problems. So, if we go ahead and we're moving our decimal point 2 places to the right, we're going to start here. We go 1, 2, add our decimal point. We can drop this 0, and our answer is 4 4/10. Okay? Let's look at this one here. Here we have 8/10, but we need to move the decimal point 2 places. So we're going to go ahead and do 1, 2. We're going to add a 0 because we can go ahead and we can add zeros, and then we're going to add our decimal point. So then our answer is actually 80%, and this is 4 4/10%. And then finally, once again, we need to change this to a decimal in order to be able to solve this. So basically what's happening here is, because it's here, it's 6, and we know that half is 50, we're going to go ahead and we are going to change this to 650. Our decimal point still remains there. So we're going to move it 2 places. And our answer becomes 65%. And that is Chapter 6, Section 6.1, Converting Percents to Decimals and Decimals to Percents.